Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer at our network, where we currently have 29 live broadcasts each week. Our show today is the Film and Music Show, and boy, do we have another fabulous episode for you. Our wonderful star of the show, her name is MADALENE Chan. She's from the UK. She's become a very dear friend. She's an international award-winning singer, songwriter. She's a producer. She's now the executive producer of World Jenny's Day, an event that we're holding here October the 10th. And she's also a novelist of the fabulous book, Star Child. She's also someone who is leading the world from a capitalistic perspective to one that is heart-centric, where we really care about one another and we care about this planet. Before we bring her out, why don't we just take a few minutes to follow love? Then we'll bring out MADALENE and our special guest, also joining us from the UK. Follow Love by MADALENE Chan.
By your love, what you giving me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now, just follow love.
So much pressure for me to get that very second where you pop in. Well done, MADALENE.
Gosh, that is top.
Follow love, I love it.
Honestly, I'm telling you, the way that you said about leading people from a capitalist, I'm like, oh no, oh my gosh, I just want people to follow love and live from their hearts. Oh my God.
That's what you're all about, getting us to open our eyes and look at what trends we're following and just be conscious of what we're doing and how we're treating each other.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, MADALENE, you've got so much that you're doing now with Songs for You, Listening Lazies, as well as World Jenny's Day. Tell our audience a little bit about the work that you're doing. In addition to being a performer and a creative and a vocal coach, you're a novelist. Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just an absolute believer, and I'm so passionate about creativity, and especially if creativity is, which it all does, all creativity emanates from the heart. So I've done nothing in my, I've done nothing. All I've done in my life is follow my heart in every aspect. And I really believe that creativity, I love to write. Whatever I put my focus on, I put my whole mind, body, spirit, and my creative heart, and I bring out the best, whether it's a book that I'm writing, whether it's something that I'm producing, helping people with a charity, helping someone, give them advice, give them guidance. I believe that every minute, every hour, every second if you have the chance to help someone, you should, but do it from your heart. And I believe I do nothing but my heart. I don't know anything else but the heart. But I had to learn that, because from 2012 is when I woke to my heart. Because before I was kind of my ego, a bit of my ego in there. But now I'm able to, because of my experience of songwriting and singing, I'm able to help someone to bring out their soul voice, and they can sing, for them to sing their own song, their own style. And we can make that song into a song that can go on to any Spotify, any kind of platforms. I mean, for example, the producer who we're going to bring in, the guest, Heetan Jethwa, he honestly, he produced my latest single, which Audi wrote, a lyricist, and I did the vocal melody, and Andy Secret wrote it as well, and Heetan was the producer, and he did so many mixes of it as well, and he's absolutely fabulous. So I just feel so blessed. I am so blessed working with so many creative hearts. And I think that's what life is about, being creative, following your heart. And that's how I manage to live my life, be part of beautiful things, beautiful people, beautiful souls, because I follow my heart. And that's why I have many opportunities coming in, and I just expand and just, I don't know, magnetize, and they bring their heart, and then suddenly it's a big, big heart. So that's, anyway, there you go.
Thank you, Madalene. And I just want to also announce to anyone who hasn't heard that Madalene is our Chief Listening Liaison Ambassador, helping to onboard all of our elevated listeners. We're all about listening at the highest level here on our channel so that people know that they're being heard. So thank you for that introduction to Heetan. We're going to be bringing him out right now, and he's going to actually be performing for us today. So I'm super excited for that as well. Welcome to the program, Heetan.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
So good to see you. Yeah,
good to see you both.
Heetan, I know you share with us backstage, but tell the audience where you're joining us from, please.
So I am in sunny Essex, in Chelmsford. I'm in my studio in the back room, and yeah, this is where I do all the magic. Madalene has been here as well. She has recorded here, which is absolutely fantastic, and she is superb. So yeah, this is where I'm based.
Thank you so much for that. I wish I could come over and record something there too.
You're more than welcome.
It's a little bit of a drive though. But so you're a producer, an artist, and a musician. Is one of these areas more important to you, or you're more passionate about?
Well, I think to start off with, I'm always going to be a musician first. That's where I started. I started playing drums, and I started playing tabla, which is an Indian drum, from a very, very early age. But now, when you ask me right now, I'm really enjoying my producer role. So writing for other people, writing music for TV and for film, writing for Anokha Beats, which is my music label, and yeah, just really just expanding in that particular area of just being able to produce lots of different types of music.
Thank you for sharing
that.
I have a question about Madalene. So when
Let's
Madalene,
spill the beans right now.
No.
When Madalene came to your studio to record, what's the vibration like being with her in person?
Let me just say, Maddie, I call her Maddie, she is on a different vibration than anybody else that I've ever met. And when we met, we hit it off straight away. And I could just tell from her aura that she was just a beautiful soul, and she really just wanted to do music. It wasn't about anything else. There was no underlying this or that or the other. It was really just about producing music and the best music possible. So when she came, it was crazy. Definitely really exciting. I hadn't worked with her before, so it was very, very new to me. But we hit it off straight away, and she laid down the vocals for this song that she did within, I'd say, 2 to 3 hours. She was on it. She was on fire. She was on fire. But it was brilliant. And we got to talk a lot. We got to listen to lots of different types of music, and it was just a really good experience. So we were like, let's just do more.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. One of the things about Madeline, and then we'll go on to the interview with you.
Yeah, come on.
She's an excellent project manager. She really is. So, okay. So you showed us that you have those 2 drums there. Can you show our audience and then just talk a little bit about what each one is?
Yeah. So this is tabla. These are traditional Indian drums. We have this one, which is a high-pitched drum, and we have this one, which is the lower-pitched drum. They play together. They're played by hand, and pretty much they can create the most amazing sounds just by the way you play them with your fingers and with your hands and your palms. So there's lots of different techniques. I'm a complete novice, I have to say. I have been playing, but unfortunately, I wasn't taught by a master as such, is what they call them, the gurus. But I picked things up along the way. And when I first saw a concert where there was somebody playing the tabla, it was mesmerizing. And I was just completely just fixated on this person. So I said to my parents, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to be able to play tabla all day, every day for the rest of my life. And it's one of those skills that you just never stop learning how to play. But it's a beautiful instrument, and it's played in lots of different types of music now as well. So you will actually hear this now, in classical, obviously, but also in sort of Bollywood. You'll hear it in actual even pop music a lot of the times, kind of in the background sometimes, or just adding with percussion and drums and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very, very versatile. Very, very famous song by Timbaland and Missy Elliott uses these, and it really took up a new space in terms of what tabla was all about and where it could go.
Wow, I never knew.
Yeah.
Thank you. I never knew. I mean, I'm interested to know the sound as well of
yes. So this is how they sound. Apologies if you can't actually see fully. I will try my best to just do a little maneuver just to show you what they look like.
Wow.
So that's how they sound. And, a typical, I don't know, Punjabi Bhangra sort of rhythm we could do is something like. So that's a typical sort of North Indian.
Love it. Love it. We need to dance to that. I love
that's
it.
It's got that groove. So yeah, they generally play together, and there's lots of different styles that you can do. It's one of those instruments that you'll never stop learning. So it's beautiful.
I guess it's good when you're expressing, emotions, when you're thinking, I just want to really go for it, kind of
absolutely
get all your frustrations out.
It's definitely used to let out some frustrations for sure.
There you go, Dr. Yeah.
You'll definitely hear it in some of the music that I've produced, that you'll be able to hear on Spotify. So I tend to use this instrument. Obviously it's my key instrument, and I use it a lot in all of my music, sort of in different ranges, but yeah, certainly you'll be able to check that out.
And how would you describe your music?
Oh, wow. So my music is Indian fusion, I want to call it. I've grew up in the UK, or I was born here. And so I've been very, very lucky because I've got to grow up in an Indian family. So we got to listen to lots of Indian classical music. We got to listen to lots of Bollywood music, lots of all different types of music. And then obviously I got into rock and pop and urban stuff and all the other different genres. And, luckily I was taught music as well. So my music is a fusion of English, Indian, worldwide, world music, you want to call it. I'll call it world music. And, my influences are anything from sort of Metallica down to Talvin Singh to Nitin Sawhney, who are some of the major practitioners of bringing sort of the East and the West together. So I would say, my music is definitely in that space of fusion music.
I like that description. Indian fusion music. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
World music. And you do dance as well, is it? You do dance music?
Yeah. So one of the genres that we got to produce a lot of over the last few years has been house music. So I got involved with like DJs and playing, because I'm a percussionist. So I can play pretty much everything. I used to get told off when I was at school and at college because I used to play the table, the chair legs, get your pens and pencils out, and the teachers used to just go, "Heetan, will you please just stop tapping?" Because I would be just practicing all the time. So I play bongos as well as other percussion, and a lot of the DJs here in the UK love to have a percussionist on the side, and it really lends itself to funky house music, deep house music, soulful house music, because it's got that really happy vibe and it's just a great atmosphere. And so I play bongos. So I was lucky enough to play a lot of gigs around London and various places in the UK, playing bongos everywhere with DJs playing house music, which was amazing, absolutely amazing. And then went on to start writing house music as well, which led me on to writing and producing more music in my musical journey.
Are you wondering, Dr. Jacalyn, what's house music?
I was just going to ask him, what is house music? Can you share more about that?
Okay, house music. There's house music. There's garage music. I think we should create a different genre. I think there's a bedroom music. House music. Actually, house music comes from one of the main places it came from was actually in Chicago. So Chicago house was very, very famous. And house music is one of those things. It's kind of like a very static beat. So you'll hear it going, and that's pretty much house music. And then there's lots of obviously layers of things that you can put on there. And so you've got what I call soulful house music, which has a very jazzy vibe to it. It's very, very laid back, played in a lot of clubs and bars, which are kind of what we call Nikki Beach and those places. And then you've got techno, which is another subgenre of house music, which is much more quicker. It's like at a 140, 150, sort of 160 tempo, which is really like kind of like really going for it. So there's different types of house music, but yeah, pretty much it's a 4-beat kind of static kind of beat, and then you add in all your instrumentation onto that.
I like those really fast beats. You said like 140 beats per minute, just like running, working out. Yeah.
Probably amazing for when you're working out in the gym. Yeah, put a bit of techno on and you'll be going at 100 bars an hour.
You'll be able to do your planks.
That's not a bad shout, That's not a bad shout. We might have to just put that in there and say, hey, if you're working out today, stick some techno on. You're going to lose a lot of calories.
Can I just want to share something?
Yeah.
So 2 days ago, I went to the gym and I decided I was going to do a 21-minute plank, straight arm plank. And the only reason I got through it, because I was by myself in the gym, was the music was on and it was blaring and I sang through the whole thing. And the point is that music can change your entire mindset and take you from, being really sad to lifting up your spirits, or you hear something really, you're uplifted and then you hear something sad, you're like, oh. But it's amazing. Like, even when you were playing your instruments there, I was like, I felt myself being lifted.
Yeah, it's a really good point, actually. And, I have in my playlists, when I'm driving in the car or when I'm out with family, I've got different playlists for different moods and feelings. So, this morning I wanted to feel really motivated and I put on some actual heavy metal, and it really worked because it got your blood pumping, it got you energized. And then there's other times where I'll be like, you know what? I just want to relax and chill out and just listen to a good vibe. And I'll put on some funky house, and that will really get me in that sort of summery feel. So it's a really good point.
Thank you.
Adding to that, Dr. Jacalyn, with about the music, you see, when I hear music, I always respond from my heart and I hear the vibrations from my heart. But is the music neuro? Do people, it's interesting to how people perceive whether it's from the heart or from the neurological.
Well, I think in the case of the example that I just gave, I was doing something that was really physically very challenging, and I had to mentally push myself through it. So by singing at the top of my lungs, I was also distracting myself from the physical pain, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It does. So you were listening with your mind?
Yes.
That's an interesting concept, listening with the mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Heetan, how do you listen to music?
I find it quite interesting, this subject, because there's lots and lots of studies being done about the way that music is used. So, for instance, I've written some meditation music a couple of months ago for a publisher, and music, as you said, some people will pick up the vibrations of that and use it to calm them down, or they'll use it in a space where they actually it'll enable them to just create some peace. And other music will do and create other emotions. And there's actually, it's a very, very interesting subject, because there's lots and lots of studies going around about how, for instance, hip hop music has changed, and the way that the frequencies of certain instruments, for instance, the 808 drum has a bass frequency, and they say that it's actually really, really bad for you, and it creates bad vibrations. And one of the things that hip hop music uses a lot of is this 808 drum. You hear it in lots of, especially in America, you hear that sort of 808 slide and that bass, in concerts. And there was a big thing about, obviously, the AJ Tracy concert about people and the Stampede and all of that, where certain people were caught in a really, really bad place. And one of the studies about the music was actually suggesting that the music and the frequencies that were being used were not great, weren't actually helping people. They were putting people in a bad space mentally. So it's a very, very interesting subject.
It is an interesting concept. Thank you. I never knew that, Heetan. Thank you.
No worries.
For sharing that.
Yeah, it is an interesting concept. I was just thinking, I remember through various breakups with narcissists I was dating that I would be
yeah.
You could even use the music for a certain thing. Yeah.
Woo! But this is something I think it's funny, and I'd like to have the two of you comment on it. I would get in my car, I'd have to drive somewhere, and I'd put on really sad, depressing music, and I'd be like sobbing, like, And then, like months later, you look back and go, "Come on, are you kidding?" It's like, but why do we do that? We're in a certain frame of mind. We should pick music that's more elevated, but yet we stay in that moment, and that music helps us. I guess maybe we're processing. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think sometimes we like what we like. So, sometimes when you're in that state of mind, that's all you want to do. You want to, when you're feeling sad, sometimes, like other people, they want to eat, and they want to eat ice cream, and they want to just go for it and, never look back, kind of thing. And I think music plays a major role in that, where, you put on something that actually you can relate to. I think it's about relating to sometimes the artist, the song, what the song means to that person in that situation, and actually the message sometimes that they're giving as well. That all can play a role in what you choose and what you decide to listen to, I reckon.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Very good, valid point. I mean, for me personally, Dr. Jacalyn, I was that kind of person that, on the breakup with the narcissists, would play that one song continually. It stopped. It played out. I put it back on again, and I put it back on again. I thought, okay, I want more. Okay, and I found myself in this, repeat in this ever decreasing circle, and I wasn't healing. I was just stuck in that energy, in that time void, in that time.
It's so true. And it's funny, then you hear the song, it's sometime in the future, and you don't connect with it at all.
Yes, absolutely. It's it's the same with films. You watch a film that's so funny when you're younger, and you think, wow, this is an absolute classic film. I love it. You watch it when you're much older, and you watch it and you go, what the heck was I interested in this film for? What is it?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Heetan, I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about your work as a producer. What is it about producing that really resonates for you?
So I've been on quite a journey as a producer. I kind of started off obviously in a band and doing music that way. And actually, I never thought I was going to be a producer. I always thought, that's it, I'm going to be on the road, and that's going to be me, and we're going to be playing with the band kind of until everybody gets fed up. But it didn't quite happen that way. And so I got interested in producing music whilst I was at university studying music. And it was one of those things where I started doing it, and I started really enjoying it. And then I met one of my co-producers, who I run Anokha Beats with, and we were just vibing off creating beats. And as a drummer, I'm a beat maker, so the first and foremost, when I sit down to write music, most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, I'm actually creating the beat first, or I've got a vibe of the style that I want to do. And so as a producer, that was like, oh, this is really, really good fun. And then it started moving into writing more of the other parts of the music, and actually learning about different instrumentation, and learning about how to program beats, and actually using the software and studio and all of that sort of thing. So it was a really growing experience. But sort of 10 years on, and I've been very, very fortunate enough to write lots of different styles of music, because I actually write music for TV and for film, for sync is what we call it. So I write music for a variety of different companies and publishers. And great thing is, I have a very eclectic mix of the type of producing that I get to do. Sometimes, like for instance, in the last month, I was able to write really happy, melodic, sort of kids music, I want to say, and it was all aimed for a specific album related to that, which then goes out to all the different broadcasters, and if they use it, then you get paid a license fee for it, and it's an ongoing thing. So that's really great. I got to produce obviously the stuff with Maddie, which was really different. I get to produce my own stuff, which is again worlds apart from everything else that I do. So in that respect, it's a challenge, but a welcome challenge, because I get to do lots of different types of things, and I don't always have to rely on musicians and session musicians, which is sometimes very, very difficult to manage. But yeah, I can just sort of sit in here and I've got a brief, and I'll just get on with it and start producing that particular style or whatever I've got set a brief for. So it's good fun. It's good fun.
Thank you
It's
so
like
much.
thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, Dr. Heetan, it's like a studio lab. It's a laboratory. And
it is a lab. It is.
It's a laboratory. It's a lab. Yeah,
it is a lab.
It is the lab.
Indeed.
And it's like
and
the
to be
whole
honest,
world.
you don't actually need a lot for the lab either. I mean, you can see behind me here, there's a laptop, there's some speakers, there's a microphone, there's a keyboard, and pretty much that's all you really need to be able to produce music these days. The access of actually being able to produce, I've seen people produce music on their phones, on airplanes. It is bonkers. So, it's definitely more accessible, which is great. There's lots of different things that you can actually produce on the go.
And Heetan, is the quality as good as going into using like on your laptop with software programs compared to a big mixing desk, for example, in the old way of a recording studio?
Yeah, there's always going to be differences, and there's obviously going to be a lot of people that have a lot of different opinions about this. I love the fact that I've got a laptop and I can produce wherever I go. So if I've got that laptop with me, and if I've got a spare hour or whatever, I can just sit down and just and create something, which is fantastic, and then actually take it later on to a bigger setup, so to speak, to do mixing and that sort of stuff. But the fact that you can actually go away and produce stuff is really, really amazing. What it does do though is I was listening to something earlier today. Actually, it was an interview with Akon, and he was saying that there is about 10 million songs that are uploaded to Spotify every day. So music has really got saturated, because there's a lot of people now that can do music, that can actually release their own music on these streaming platforms. So there is a lot of dross out there, unfortunately. I don't want to say it, but that's the truth. Not all music's fantastic, and obviously it's an expression, as Maddie said earlier, it's an expression from the heart. So whatever other people are feeling, hey, I get that you're expressing yourself, and it might not be my cup of tea. So that's it.
Heetan.
Heetan, I would love for you to play something for us again as we close out the show. Is there any way to turn on a little more light so we can see you? It must be getting darker there.
Yeah, it is. Shall I just open up the so you can actually see me?
Yeah, we would like to see you. That'd be great.
I didn't realize it was going to be so dark. So open up the skylight.
That's better. Thank you.
Let there be light.
Yes.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah, so go ahead and play something for us. We would love it.
Play something for you from some of my
Anything
music.
you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just.
Great. Do you know what I'm thinking? Listening lazies.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm gonna play you one of my songs.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna play you one of my unreleased songs.
Ooh, privilege.
Yeah, because this one is an Indian song, and it is called Revelation. And I wrote it some time ago. It's a very, very traditional piece, and I wasn't sure about whether I was going to actually release it or not, but I'm going to play it to you and see what you guys think. So here we go. Revelation.
Transcended. Did you feel the vibrations?
I felt like I was on my yoga mat, just
you were suspended like this, and then you just
definitely.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you so much.
Heetan, amazing.
Really,
it's a different feel.
It's
I absolutely love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now, when will this be available?
Sorry?
When will this be released?
So I'm not sure at the moment. There's no plans to actually release it as yet. But
the unreleasable.
Yeah. You know what? I tell you something about musicians and artists and producers is that they have more music that is unreleased than is released, which is absolutely bonkers. So yeah, I mean, there's a whole catalogue of different things that are in the back there, and we just got to get round to figuring out when's the best time to release it, what's it going to go with, how's it all going to work, kind of thing. So there's a lot more work that needs to be done, but as a piece of music itself, it's completely finished, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with the way that it actually sounds and it makes you feel, and hence why I called it Revelation, because when I listened to that piece of music, I actually felt a revelation of, when you have, everybody has doubts with the things that they do. So my biggest doubt was, am I good enough as a musician? Am I good enough as an actual producer? And when I created that piece of music, I was like, you know what? I can actually do this. This sounds pretty good. I mean, I might be my, trumping my own horn, whatever you want to call it. But I was just like, once I heard that and I produced it, and I was just so happy with it because it just took me to a different place. I was just like, yeah, I can actually produce music. I can do this.
I absolutely agree with you, Heetan. It's honestly, truly, it's transcending, and it's powerful.
Yeah,
Can't wait to buy it.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely let you guys know when it's going to be available.
Yes.
Yeah. And you've kind of given me the inspiration to maybe talk to the guys a little bit more about maybe putting it out there quicker than once anticipated.
Get it out there. Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
and Madeline and I have a project for you as well that we'll talk to you about later.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, sounds great.
We do.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So-
Fabulous.
We are actually at the end of our show. We've got another one right after this. So, Heetan, how can people get in touch with you? We've got a number of links about how they can acquire your music, but we also have your email address. So please just go ahead and share with the audience who should reach out to you and what's the best way to connect with you.
Hey, if anybody wants to reach out, first of all, you can listen to Anokha Beats, which is available on all the streaming platforms. I'm on Twitter, Heetan 001 on the Twitter. We've got an Anokha Beats Instagram account, so it's Anokha_Beats. So you check that out. We are on Facebook, so you can contact us on Facebook. Again, it's all Anokha Beats, which is my music label. And you can actually even now, hey, buy these T-shirts and a full range of T-shirts. We've got, forgot to mention this, music merchandise. So we've got T-shirts now available on our Etsy store, which is Anokha Clothing. So if you type in Anokha Clothing, you'll find us. Check out the T-shirts. We've got some musical T-shirts. We've got the Anokha Beats range, and there's loads of other stuff coming. So, we're trying to do everything in our power just to be successful and do music full time and just write amazing pieces of music every day.
I love it.
You are making it happen.
Yeah. Did I tell you it's a powerful house? It's powerful.
Yes. The next thing you
what
know,
we
we're
can.
going to be reaching out to you for listening lazies.
Yes.
Listening lazies.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Well, thank you again for being here, and I look forward
Thank you
to
for having me.
working with you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the opportunity of being on, and peace and love, as Maggie would say.
Thank you, Heetan. Peace and love to you too. Bye for now.
Love you, Ted.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Yes, thank you, Madeline, for bringing Heetan to the platform.
Oh, we have so many artists we're going to bring, so many songwriters, all different people in all different genres of the creative art industry. So super excited about this. We've got so much going on. You know what? We should have him on World Jenny's Day, but I'll talk to him about it later.
Okay.
For India and that, but wow.
You're speechless. I can't believe it.
I know.
It was that
you're
beautiful
right.
music. It's that music.
was.
It's just sort of,
It-
yeah.
I'm up there somewhere still.
Well, for the part of you that's still here, can you give your
Hmm.
contact information to our
Sure.
audience?
Of course I will. Yes. It's okay. You can catch me on Gmail, which is MADALENECarolChan@gmail.com, which is MADALENECarolChan@gmail.com. You can get me on Facebook, Madeline.chan.395 for the Instagram as well, and the Facebook. Or you can get me on social media, LinkedIn, Colours of the Voice, 7A37731. And I want to hear from every creative heart. I really do, because I really feel we've got to write this book, Dr. Jacalyn, the Creative Heart book. I really feel it. Everybody puts their creative heart in this book, because this is going to be as big as it's going to be like an encyclopedia of creative hearts around the world. That's my dream.
I'm on it as soon as we get the elevated listeners.
We will. 2023. Let's do it in 2023. We've got plenty of time.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Well, Madeline and I are going to sign off for right now, and I'll be back with Mr. Red O'Loughlin for the Wise Ones. Please go to our YouTube channel if you haven't been there yet. There's a wealth of information. We stand for education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Our YouTube channel is USA Global TV and Radio. Please do subscribe, and then you'll see we have playlists, and our 29 shows are all broken out into various playlists so that you can find your favorite shows and watch them very easily. All right, we're signing off.
And if you want to be a co-host, honestly, everyone, if you want to go and be a co-host with Dr. Jacalyn herself, honestly, is go onto the website and go. You need to follow the instructions, join the Elevated Listening Foundation 1 and 2, so you can learn to become an elevated listener, become a presenter, to be able to present in the way that Dr. Jacalyn has USA Global TV with all her co-hosts, because we all had to do it, everyone. I had to do it. Janetta, everybody who's on USA Global TV platform as a co-host and a host had to do this, because we need to retain optimum, ultimate, elevated listening to have great interviews with wonderful guests.
Woo! Thank you, Madeline. I couldn't have said it any better. That was fantastic.
That was a surprise from my heart. That just my heart just spoke. I couldn't even think what was going on. It was my heart.
Well, thank you to you and your heart. And thank you to everybody out there who's watching or listening. And thank you to Heetan. We really do appreciate you. Yeah, goodbye for now, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, Dr.